But now, nah, I need aliens to show up, go which way you want to go, and then fucking run that way as fast. Dude, you guys are gonna love this video, man. There's so much in this video, so much depth, so much awesomeness, man. Try to help a grown-ass man make life decisions about where he wants to go and what he wants to do, man. This is a good one, folks. It's a good one. How you know what we doing on here? We building champions for life.
I wanted to finish the question that you asked me, why did I get out? But also I wanted to comment on some of the things that you've said in other videos. So I was in the Marine Corps, then I went to the Air Force Academy. Everybody wanted to break the Marine. And so, being a plebe sucks enough, but I had people lining up to try to break me. And at first it was like, this is awesome because I'm going to break every single one of you motherfuckers. And plus I knew the UCMJ. And so they were like threatening me with court-martial and everything. I was like, actually, that's illegal. Article 31, rights of the accused. And I was just like quoting shit out of the UCMJ. And they were just like, what? Because they don't really teach UCMJ at Air Force Academy. But I got shit on the entire time at the Air Force Academy for being a Marine. Then I went to TBS and they shit on me. Well, I actually had to go to OCS, which Naval Academy doesn't have to. So I had to go through Marine Corps OCS.
Wait, they sent you to OCS?
Yeah, in order to graduate as a Marine, that's part of the selection, though. So there was 4 of us that went, and only 3 graduated. But so then I got shit on at OCS for being from the Air Force Academy, even though I was enlisted in the Marine Corps and had a big ass fucking Marine Corps tattoo on my chest. They still shit me for going to the Air Force Academy. Then when I got to TBS, same thing. You're from the Air Force Academy, and I didn't have alphas. And so the rules, you check in a suit if you don't have alphas. And so I checked in a suit, got shit on. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I was like, yeah, I do. And I quoted the rule to them because I didn't have service A dress uniform. So then out of TBS, I got sent to Vance Air Force Base to do undergraduate pilot training. And they shit on me there for being a Marine. The attrition rate at that time for Marines going through that cross program.
Wait, where did you go learn fly?
Vance Air Force Base in Enid, Oklahoma.
So you didn't go to Pensacola?
I did, but for helos.
For helos. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I went through. So in the Army, everything's just rotary wing, but Marine Corps, Air Force, everybody starts off with a fixed wing.
Yep.
So the attrition rate for Marines at that time was over 60%. And it wasn't necessarily because the program was harder, just because they want Marines to fail because we're Air Force, we're the real pilots and shit like that. But I passed that. And then when I went to rotary wing school in Pensacola, the very first thing they said is like, who here went to Vance? And I was the only one. I raised my hand. They said, welcome to pilot training. Kindergarten's over. And they shit on me for going to Vance Air Force Base. So everywhere I went, I never felt like I belonged. And that's what I wanted. I wanted that same feeling I had when I was a 17-year-old Marine. But I didn't care because I had one fucking focus. And it's kind of like we talking about how do you get through SEAL training? I don't know because I've never been through it, but listening to your videos and everything, you got to want it. You got to want it, and you got to have that grit. So I had that. I didn't care. It was just rolling off my back, everything. So then I graduated #1 out of helicopter school, got my #1 choice, Cobras, West Coast. I went there, and they're like, well, you're not a real pilot because you went to the Air Force Academy and you went to Vance Air Force Base. Let me show you real pilots. And so I never really, so I feel like I got screwed over why I didn't get jets, but I'm not going to go into that story, whatever. But that's just me being butthurt about stuff. So when you add all that up, all the shit I went through, all the stuff that was piled onto me, and all I really ever wanted to do was be a fucking Marine and be a pilot. And I just never felt like I belonged. And when I didn't get those F-18s, it was just, it sucked. That was the first time in my life I failed at anything. And when I was over in Iraq for my last deployment, somebody just made a dumbass comment about how, because I wanted to do a FAC tour. I wanted to, at that time, at least in the Marines, only pilots could go on the ground. I wanted to do a FAC tour. And they said, good, because you're not a real pilot anyway. And I was just like, what the fuck? How long is this going to follow me?
Wait. What do you mean? Like, who was saying this to you?
The leaders. So I actually, when I was in helicopter school, everybody knew that all the instructors knew I wanted to fly Cobras. And one of my instructors who was a Cobra pilot pulled me to the side and he said, hey, I just want to let you know, Cobras eat their young. And I was like, what do you mean? They said they shit on their young pilots because most of them are people that wanted jets and didn't get it. And so they're just really, really pissed off. They hate the world and everything. So they're going to shit on you.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, I'll take it. I'm a Marine, you know what? And he was right. He was 100% right, but he was trying to get me prepared. And what it came down to, you said this quote and I wrote it down because anybody who's listening to this is 100% true. You said, you're telling a guy, I think he had a college degree, but he wanted to go enlisted. And you said, if you are a very successful person, the moment you feel you aren't appreciated, you'll say, fuck it, I'll go do something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. And really the nail in the coffin was, hey, I want to do a fact tour, which those things can be a difficult tour. You're on the ground. You're
I'm
doing
gonna tell you right now, that's like you getting it chewed up as a fact.
Yeah. And
you
so
got
that's
a gun and you shooting bullets.
Right. And so I wanted to do that. And I felt like, hey, I'm doing something for the Marine Corps. And my commanding officer said, you know, hey, go ahead and do it. You're not a real pilot anyway. And that's what broke me when they said that. So all the years of just shit and everything, and then a lieutenant colonel telling me I'm not a real pilot anyway. It's like, fuck you, dude. Like we're in Iraq, we're doing this stuff, and you're telling me I'm not a real pilot. And so I was just like, I'm out.
I was at the Naval Academy. They told me I was never going to graduate. I wasn't a real midshipman.
Yeah.
Right? I had a 3.0 was playing football. You know what I told them? Go fuck yourself. You can't kick me out of school.
Right.
Man, I made an 04 cry at the Naval Academy.
I made lots of cadets cry. Yeah, but not an officer.
You don't have enough power to kick me out of school. I'm black. I got a 3.0 and I'm fucking traveling with the football team. So you go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Tears. Because they knew I was right.
Yeah.
You know? So here's what I would say, Eric. I just think, man, brother, like you 43, you're kind of at that crossroads in life. Like, I don't think you can make a bad decision, but you have to make a decision, right? So if you make a decision not to go down that road, then you got to live with it.
Yeah.
If you make a decision to go down that road, then you got to live with it, right?
I think what eats me up the most is I quit.
Quit what?
I let that I let all of that get to me, and I let that one final comment. That's what broke me. That was the straw that broke me.
You know what I say about that shit? Because I love motherfuckers to tell me I quit. I said, really? Because I got a bunch of SEALs that fucking hate me, right? I love them motherfuckers. They call me up. You fucking quit. You fucking left. You left right before the war. Hey, Steve. Yeah. Are you still in the SEAL teams? Well, no. Oh, so you quit. You got out. You quit? No, I served my time. Okay, I served my time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You quit. And they get fucking pissed. Nobody stays in the fucking military forever unless you're a 4-star admiral. You know, like Admiral Fallon's ass was 70 fucking years old still in the Navy. Okay? I tell people, when I leave the bar at 11 o'clock and I go home, I didn't quit.
Right.
I made a business decision to go home at 11 o'clock because I've never got laid out of a bar in my life. So why would I stay until 2 a.m? Right? And that's the part that I think a lot of people miss. A lot of people want to throw the quitting tab on leaving. Right? I just think shit has a finite lifespan. I'm in the SEAL teams. I'm getting shit on every day. I get fired as an assistant platoon commander by a dude who's been fired 3 times, who lies all the time. Everybody knows he's lying. And then he gets his bird pulled. And everybody's like, well, why did you get out? I'm like, I was underappreciated.
Yeah.
I was doing good when I was the number 2 ranked officer at my command. Right. But like, as soon as the racial stuff popped off on the West Coast and my name was all in it, and they pulled every one of my schools because they said I was the kingpin of it, and I had done nothing but keep my mouth quiet and head down, and then you pile this on, right? Like, now, if I had a mentor, someone would have said, hey, man, Jake, you're only black officer for 11 years in the Navy. You pretty much could do anything you want. You're going to get promoted to 06. I'd have been like, oh, shit, let's stay. Right? But I didn't want to play the game, and it gets old, it gets old. Like, you don't want to be in a place where you're unappreciated, like, I mean, shit. You don't appreciate me? Cool. I'll take my talent somewhere else because I'm a very talented individual.
Right.
you know? And that's where I'm saying to you, you go in the Marine Corps, I don't think you're going to get much different. You go in the Army, you're going to be a weirdo in the Army, but at least they're going to try to figure out how to use you, or they're going to give you the latitude to figure out how to use yourself. Right? But at 43, dog, just make a decision, man. Get in shape 2 months, do some soul searching, fly out and see your dude. Let him take you to the command, show you around, see what the fuck he's doing, right? Have you been to graduation lately?
Not on the grounds. I'll go watch the flyovers because I still like watching the Thunderbirds and everything, but I haven't actually gone into the stadium.
I would go see what the TBS graduation schedule is.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the academy.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Just go to any graduation, right? Where are you living right now?
I live a couple miles from the Air Force Academy.
Okay, so they're not graduating for another year, so that don't help you out. But just go to a graduation, right? Find a graduate. I don't care, like whatever school it was you went to that graduated, where you could go to graduation, flight school, right? Just go to graduation. Fly down to Pensacola, fly down to wherever, go to flight school graduation, and see what it does for you. Because I'll tell you this, if I had went to the Naval Academy graduation, to Bud's graduation, to Airborne graduation, if I had went to any graduation within a year and a half of me getting out, I never would have got out.
Yeah. And so that's where I'm at, because I didn't have that mentorship. And now that I'm 43 years old and I can look back and say, hey, you were an idiot. You did some dumb stuff. You let some dumb shit get to you. You know, it's one of those things, the cliche, if I had known then what I know now, you know, or
absolutely.
Wisdom's wasted on the young, or youth is wasted on the young, you know.
And that's why I preach so much mentorship, right? So I got a submarine captain. Well, he just changed command last week. Okay. I got a bunch of 06s. I got a bunch of fucking dudes flying captain seat in the fucking airlines right now. They all got advice that I wish I would have got as midshipmen at the Naval Academy or cadets at West Point. Right? Like they got the advice I needed to hear when they needed to hear it at the earliest possible level. Right? They all got buy a house at every duty station, never sell a house. We got some dudes with 30 fucking houses right now. Okay. We got some dudes financially independently wealthy at fucking 5 years after getting out. Right? Why? Because as soon as we got our hands on them as freshmen at the Naval Academy, they started getting taught the way to be a winner.
Right.
All of my guys in the SEAL teams, not one of them is having any problems with the color of their skin. Why? Because I taught them racial judo, right? I taught them, like, look, man, we're not going to let this shit get to us. I got a person in the teams right now that they was getting their ass ate out, fucking getting killed, right? Same thing. You're not fucking worthy. And I called them, and they called me a couple days ago, and we had a long conversation. I said, fuck, bro, you let all this shit get to you. And they were like, yep, I got it. I'll get it fixed. Right? Like, and I don't know. I just think you kind of at a crossroads, just figure the fuck out. Right? You need to talk, just give me a call. But like, I wouldn't worry about it one way or the other. 3 years ain't gonna hurt you. Right? 3 years, you come out, you write a book. Fucking write a book. You know, you write a book about your life and shit, right? You fucking bestseller and shit, you go do other shit. Or you stay in. You're like, fuck, man, I'm fucking bebopping around South America as a fact. I'm in the helicopter a little bit, or I'm fucking on the ground. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know. Or you're like, hey, man, I'm going to go work for the agency. Because there's a bunch of smart people at the agency, too. I don't know. I don't think it's a romantic deal. I just think you got to go do it, right? Yeah. Whatever you decide, and then you got to bury it. Right? Like, if you got to go fucking take your uniform and fucking dig a hole in the backyard and bury that shit, that's what you got to do.
It's tough for me to bury it. It's right here. There's my Mameluke sword. There's my Cobra. There's a helmet I wore when I was actually fighting.
I see it. I know what you're talking about, right? It's hard, but, you know, you got to get on with your life. You know, I'm fucking 51. I'll be 52 here in a couple months, right? It's easy for me now because there's no way physically I could do shit.
Right.
Like, I'm struggling. I ran 1.6 miles a day and felt like I ran a fucking marathon. Okay. And so for me, like 10 years ago, I could have still done it. Like, I was still fucking churning out miles. I could have fucking went back in there all day. But now, Nah, I need aliens to show up. You know, we'll cut our teeth on some aliens or some shit like that. And now I'm looking at shit. 60 is closer than 40. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? We're good. We'll just keep helping people. We'll keep growing the network, keep getting better, keep getting better at helping people. Cause now we fucking printing pilots. And who knows what happens.
Yeah, you just said something. I know I appreciate the time you've given me, but we can end it on this. I still have the Eagle Globe and Anchor that was given to me at the end of the Crucible back in 1997 when I went through boot camp. It's faded as shit. It's almost not even black anymore because all the stuff's out there. I kept that with me every single day that I was in the even as an officer. I kept my enlisted Eagle Globe and Anchor that I got, and I don't look at it every day, but you know I look at it. I keep it with me. It's not on my shelf. It's in my bedroom, and I look at it a lot. I think I may like do some type of ritual burial or something and see if that helps. I don't know.
I mean, Dog, let me show you something, okay? Okay, this hat right here, okay? Let me find it. Okay, there's a stitch right here. See that little white stitch?
I did.
Okay, I had 2 of these. This hat was on my head every day of high school. For every mile I ran, summer or winter, this hat right here was on my head. This hat right here won a state championship in wrestling. This hat right here went to the state finals in football. This hat right here fucking missed state by 1 stroke in golf. Okay. And it sits right here on my desk. Right? Right. And I don't know why it's here. It used to be in my office, but I don't have an office no more. When I was a coach, it was in my office. But somehow it found its way on my desk. And it sits right here. And the only other thing I got on my desk, I got a helmet, but it's a new helmet from Second Phase that one of my guys sent me. And I got Johnson's, one of my swim buddy who died in 11. I got his fucking Gerber in front of me. But I got a hat from 86 to sit on my desk. And it don't sit on my desk with no regard. It was under some papers right here. It's been here for fucking 2 years now. Right? I got a bunch of sentimental shit, but I don't let it be sentimental. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got an Eagle Globe and Anchor. I got a fucking Trident from day one. I got my first Swow pin. I got fucking a bunch of shit in a box. You know, I'd love to do something with them. I gave my shadow box from the Naval Academy to my sponsors because when my parents died and I had to clean out the house and it was on the wall for 25 years, I fucking hate the Naval Academy. And I said, you know what? I don't want that in my house. I don't really want to be reminded of those 3 restriction cards for 90 days, right? Like 100 and fucking 270 days of restriction and fucking cards on the wall. So I gave it to my sponsors. Huh?
You kept the cards? Wow.
Yeah. My shadow box was gangster. Motherfuckers was mad because I got all 3 restriction cards in there. I got all my rank. I got my calculator that my sister bought me. A little Tandy fucking $12 calculator with cosine, sine, and secant on it. And I used that shit for 5 years at the Naval Academy. And everybody had a HP, one of them HP calculators. And I was over there grinding with the calculator my sister gave me because she got it for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all that shit was in the shadow box. And, you know, I gave it to my sponsors. It's up on their wall now.
I did 111 tours my freshman year alone. And that's interesting. Actually, now that I think about it, it would have been funny to keep the cards.
100. You did 107?
111 on my freshman year alone.
Freshman year. Okay, you want to hear some real shit?
Yeah.
Okay, I could do 40 tours, give or take 35 tours in 1 weekend.
How'd you do that?
I'll fucking start on Friday night. If I got lucky and the CDO would let me sign, right? He signed. So is a tour 45 minutes for you guys with a 15-minute rest?
No, it's 50 and 10.
Okay, so
close enough though.
50 and 10, whatever ours, 50s and 10. I think ours the same thing. Okay. So you do 3 in a row. Okay. You gain an hour, right? You do 5, you get an extra 50 minutes. So you gain an extra. So you do 6 in the same time.
They didn't let us do that.
So you just had to get the right duty guy, right? So as soon as school was over, call it 3 o'clock, I start marching. I get 5 in. I take like a little hour break. I'd go get another 5 in. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. because the duty dude had to be up at 5 for the morning orders and all that shit. I'd go down and see him, say, hey, man, I'm going to start marching my tours. They'd always look at me like I was crazy. Okay. And I would bang like 25 on Saturday. So now we're at fucking 31. And then just depending on how many tours those fucks gave me, I would get up on Sunday and do the same thing, because my thing was I wanted them to see me on Liberty Sunday.
Right.
And I would be on Liberty. Even if it was just a couple hours, I'd be in town. And every time they would try to write me up because they would say I was on Liberty without doing my tours. And they would come back and they would go down to the main office and my car would be in there with, 35, 40 tours done, and they would lose their shit.
Yeah. I love stories like that, because I didn't go there with the mentality that I was better than everyone. I was a Marine and everything. They brought that out to me. As soon as I got to my room, the cadre walked in and said, which one of you is the Marine? I'm like, how the fuck did you guys know that? I was just going to keep my head down, do everything everybody else did. But people just started messing with me. And my mindset in life is fuck me, no fuck you. And, that's what's got me through a lot of stuff. And I think that's the mindset. I listen to a lot of the kids that you work with, and some of them sound like they've got what it takes. Other ones, it's just, you got to have that mindset, and you would know better than I would for really hard stuff like SEALs. But
Shit, SEALs was easy, bro. I'll tell people, you want hard, go to Naval Academy and not know how to read. Right? Have a 3.0 with an F in English first semester and not have a single fucking book in your room.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers was so mad at me, man. Like, cause I tell people I had fucking 3 years of calculus, bro. Like I took calculus tests in fucking 15 minutes. And people were pissed and they were always mad at me because I went to bed at 7 o'clock every night at the Naval Academy.
Yep.
My whole goal was to sleep 10 hours, 12 hours and make the Naval Academy half as long, right? Like sleep 12 hours a day. Naval Academy is only 2 years long. And, but I experienced the same shit, right? But I'm not, there's no political correctness in me. I didn't realize I was going to a military institution until really probably sophomore year at Naval Academy. I was so pissed, then I decided I want to be a SEAL, and then it was too late. I finished second in the screener at the Naval Academy and didn't get to go SEALs. But then I ended up, it was good. I love going to the ship. I just think part of it is not having somebody to be like, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing? Like my sponsor tried, but he wasn't giving me the message I needed to hear. Rich Bryant, I needed somebody to be like, hey, motherfucker, like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'm 500 in my class academically, and my order of merit militarily is 38 people below the last person in my class. So my order of merit was 1036, and we only graduated 998. And you're like, okay.
But for any of the kids that are listening, I love how you're straight with them. I love how you tell them stuff. And I guarantee you, some of them get off the phone with you and are like, this guy, he's crazy. He's old school. That's not the way it is. And granted, I graduated over 20 years ago, so things have definitely changed. But at the heart of it, the military is the military. And you got to have that attitude in you, like, fuck you, type of thing in order to get through those things. And that's what I lost. I lost that attitude. And it was definitely fuck you, but I'm not going to do that by being a better pilot, going to being a better FAC and being a better Marine. I finally was like, no, fuck you, I'm getting out.
But I tell everybody, man, the worst thing you can do to a high achiever is try to make them average. It's hard to manage 10s because if you are not even close to being a 10, you're so intimidated every day. You're so challenged. You're so like your life, your self-worth is just being shit on every day because you're working with a rock star. And so if you're not a capable person, you're like, you can't value all the value that they're bringing. So then you're going to try to find a way to devalue what they're doing. I got fired from a job because I recruited a MAC level class, one person. I recruited 3 2-star athletes, 1 3-star running back, and a 2-star punter. And they told me I was making them look bad, and they got me fired. And I was working with the biggest group of losers in the history of mankind, right? And, I'm in coaching, and I praise Ralph Friedgens. Ralph Friedgens motherfucked me for 2 hours before he gave me the GA job at Maryland. And he said, you're too smart to be in this business. They are going to shit on you every place you go because you're too smart. You know too much. You're too good. You know leadership. They are going to shit on you and try to get you fired every job you get. And 6 out of 8 jobs I had, roughly 6 out of 7 jobs, 5 out of 7, he was 100% correct. Mm-hmm. But now I learned, you know, at 51, I'm like, I'm not in no rush to go do no shit. Someone called me and offered me a fucking phenomenal job. I'm like, nah, I'm not going there. I asked him one question. Are they winners or losers? He said they're losers. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not putting my family's fucking lifestyle and all that shit back in the hands of some fucking losers that are going to shit on me when I figure out a way to win, even though they suck. You know? All right, brother. Well, look, shit, let me know, man. Just give me a fucking call. You want to talk? You got my phone number. I think there's a fucking lot of gold in here, man. Like, and then, you know, just have fucking big balls and fucking shoot for the moon, right? Like, don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back in, you go back in. Who cares, man? Like, fucking, dog, like, I can't say it enough to you. Like, in 3 years from now, if you go back in and it fucking sucked, then who cares? You're going to come right back out. You're going to fucking be a little bit more fucking salty. You're going to go do another job. You'll go get another sales job. You'll make a fucking bunch of money. Right? Like, fuck, you might even be able to take a leave of absence from your current job. Or you may go in and find they fucking send you to some fucking Gucci ass black place. And you're like, fuck, this is awesome. Because I got a kid right now. I got a kid that's like, he's fucking living a dream. And he was older. You know, he was an old E1 when he went in. And he's fucking living a dream right now. I got the SEALs. They're living a fuck. I got a couple SEALs. They're fucking living a dream right now. I got a dude that's fucking not going to screen for damn neck, and he's fucking living a dream. He said, I'm gonna screen next go around, Jake. Okay, fuck. You know, like, so just don't get fucking marred in the fucking quagmire of life and trying to figure it out, having all the answers. Just sit down, figure it out, what you want to do.